Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz that puts obscure knowledge to the test. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hello, my name is Rachel, and this is my mother, Catherine, and we're from Shropshire.
Couple number two.
My name is Archita, this is my brother Arvind, and we're from London.
Couple number three.
I'm Imogen, this is my boyfriend Matthew, and we've come from Southsea.
And finally, couple number four.
Hello, I'm Steve, and this is my lovely wife Liz, and we're from St Denis in Cornwall.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. Very warm welcome to the show. It's lovely to have you with us. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. Like some of the best box sets, just stick with him. He gets better after this series. It's my pointless friend. It's Richard.
Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome along. Welcome back to our returners. Rachel and Catherine, welcome back. Knocked out in round one last time, which is unfortunate. Lovely to have you back, though. And Steve and Liz, welcome back to your final show, head-to-head as last time. And welcome, podiums 2 and 3. How lovely to have you here. Now, listen, we can go no further without talking about James and Philip, who won the show last time. That jackpot had been building and building and building to 13,750. The category was 2018. And they were lovely fellas, genuinely nice fellas. 2 pointless answers, £13,750. They took that to Penrith. Very, very chuffed for them.
It's exciting because we got that up to £13,750 in no time at all. It was just application and pointless answers. We got it up. And we'll probably do it halfway through this show. We'll get it up there.
Oh, yes, and more pointless answers. That's what we need.
That's how we do it. OK, well, yes, as you gather, James and Philip won the jackpot last time, which means today's jackpot starts off, as they all do, at £1,000. There we are. So, right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Just remember, the pair with the highest score at the end of each round gets eliminated. That's it. That's it. That's the rule. Keep your scores low. You've got nothing to worry about. Best of luck to everybody. Our first category for round one today is octuples. Octuples. There we are. Can you all decide in your pairs? Who's going to go first? Who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns things that come in groups of 8.
In a moment, Xander is going to show you 4 categories, and in those categories, there are 8 correct answers in each, and we're looking for anything that fits into any of the following 4 categories, please.
Wow, this is fun. Let's reveal the 4 categories. Here they come. Chemical elements beginning with the letter N, Ivy League universities, teams that won the FIFA World Cup, and UK #1 singles by Oasis. There we are. Rachel. Welcome back, by the way.
Oh,
welcome. Good to have you with us again. Tell us all about yourself a little bit more.
Well, I've recently written and published a little children's book.
That's exciting. What's it called?
It's called Sienna Visits Her Granny. I wrote it for my cousin's little girl.
Is it illustrated?
By myself, yes.
Very nice indeed. Now, Rachel, there are 8 possible answers in each category. What do you fancy going for?
I think I'm going to go for Ivy League universities and Princeton.
Princeton says Rachel. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Princeton. Princeton is right. That goes down to 7. Very well done indeed. What a great start to the show.
Nice start, yeah, Princeton in New Jersey. Michelle Obama went there, and Albert Einstein had an office there.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Archita, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself.
I am a civil servant, and in my spare time, I love doing arts and crafts, all kinds of arts and crafts.
So from where to where in your arts and your crafts?
Starting from your bog standard painting, moving on to your ceramics, sewing, and then all the way to, I once did plastic moulding.
Wow. You don't even think of that as arts and crafts, but of course it is. Archita, what are you going to go for?
I think I'm going to have a stab at chemical elements beginning with the letter N, and I'm going to say Neptunium.
Neptunium, says Archita. Let's see how many of our 100 people agree with that. Neptunium. Neptunium is right. 7's the only score we have at the moment. Princeton there. And you pass it. It's a pointless answer. There we are. That's what we need to pump that jackpot back up. Very well done. That adds £250 to the jackpot, takes the total up to £1,250. It scores you nothing. Very well done indeed.
Very well played, yeah, it's a terrific start. It's the third element to have been called neptunium. The first one they discovered was a mistake and wasn't an element at all.
Oh, that's so annoying.
And the second one they renamed almost immediately. So finally there's a real neptunium.
Imagine how disappointing that is for Neptune.
It's not even named after the planet. It's
No,
named after a guy called Dave Neptune. He was absolutely gutted.
He runs the fish and chip shop around the corner.
He does, yeah.
Lovely, yeah, Neptune's lovely.
Which is where they found it, in the
yeah,
kitchen.
they cornered it,
Yeah.
discovered it was actually a rodent. Oh,
Yeah.
there we are. Anyway, thank you very much indeed. Imogen, welcome to Point. It's lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
Thank you. So I'm a costume maker for theatre, film and television.
That's great fun. What's been the most challenging thing you've had to work on so far?
Well, it's pretty early days in my career. I only just graduated, but I've done lots of period costume, but I've done kind of all sorts.
See, that's fun. What's your favourite period, would you have said?
I quite like 18th century.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Or
I should think so.
Edwardian.
Very good. OK, now, Imogen, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to have a stab at Oasis, because I've got some Oasis fans in the family. Try and do them proud. I'm going to go for Champagne Supernova.
Champagne Supernova, says Imogen. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Oh, Imogen, I was just waiting for that to tumble down to 0. I'm so sorry. That's an incorrect answer. Scores you
Never mind.
100 points.
Yeah, afraid not. A big album track, Champagne Supernova, famous track as well, but yeah, not a #1 single.
Thank you very much, Richard. Liz, welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back for the third and final time.
Yes.
Head-to-head last time. So today, really hoping to take it all the way to Trophiesville. Tell us more about yourself, Liz.
Well, one of the things I really enjoy is volunteering for our local hospice shop. So you get to meet loads of people and you can legitimately chat all you like, which is great.
That's nice.
Chat to everybody.
Oh, how
We're
nice.
encouraged to do it.
Is there a kettle behind the counter in the shop?
No, it's upstairs, but we have
Upstairs,
regular
okay.
tea and biscuits.
Oh,
which is
regular
great.
tea's my favourite kind.
Love it. I
Regular tea is
love
good.
regular biscuits as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, please.
Liz, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for the Ivy League universities and I'm going to go for Harvard.
Harvard, says Liz. Princeton scored 7. Let's see what Harvard scores. Harvard's right. 24 for Harvard.
Yeah, in Cambridge, Massachusetts. 8 US presidents attended Harvard, as well as T.S. Eliot and Natalie Portman.
That's good.
Yeah, it's just been those 10 people.
Yeah.
It's
Trying to get them
small
all
place.
together for the photograph is just such a
Oh,
headache.
it's impossible. With Natalie's filming schedule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. Nothing was the best score of the pass, Archita. Very well done to you. Then 7 is where we find Rachel and Catherine. Then 24 is where we find Steve and Liz. And then I'm afraid 100 is where we find Imogen and Matthew. That doesn't reflect, really. I think you were, doing exactly the right thing. Anyway, a little bit of a burden for you, though, Matthew. Next pass, see if you can find something. I don't know, anything could happen, but a nice low score from you would help. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? Steve, welcome back.
Hello.
Remind us all about yourself, Steve.
Like Liz, I'm retired. We met with musical theatre.
Oh, did you?
And at one particular time, I almost burnt down the King's Theatre in Southsea.
How did you do that?
We were doing Evita.
Yeah.
And I was in the chorus, and we were standing there with the big scene with Perone, and we were all shouting Perone, and we had lit torches. And what we didn't know was that when the actual performance happened, from above us, they dropped in flags above our heads.
Oh.
And I can hear someone shouting, "Steve, Steve," from the side of the stage. And as I was doing that, my flame was going to one of the flags. But with health and safety, they're all flame retardant.
Don't fry for me, Argentina.
Steve, we're looking for anything that fits into one of these categories of 8. What are you going to go for? You're on 24. If you hit
yes.
75 or less, you're through.
I'm going to go for a chemical element, and I'm going to go for neon.
Neon, says Steve. Let's see how many of our 100 people said neon. Here is your neon red line. It's right, and you're through, Steve. Very well done indeed. Down it goes. There we are, 21, taking your total up to 45. Lovely.
Neon was discovered in University College London in 1898.
Wow.
It was in the lights.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it, that neon was found by someone. Scientists do amazing
They
things.
are clever.
I have no idea what they do.
I don't know.
But every time you need them, they pretty much turn
deliver.
up trumps, don't they?
Oh, they're great.
Very impressive.
Thank you very much indeed. Matthew,
Hello.
welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm a marketing artist and an animator for a games company.
Oh, I like marketing artists. That's good. So what's the difference between a marketing artist and a marketing executive?
Oh, we don't have any marketing executives.
No, everyone's an artist.
So, yeah,
Oh.
we make the icons for our games to go on
Lovely.
the Play Store and the App Store.
How long does it take for a brilliant idea to go bing in your head before it's then suddenly going bing on everyone's phone or device?
About a day, maybe 2.
That's very exciting. And that really is
quick.
very exciting indeed. You're on 100. You're a high scorer, I'm afraid, at the moment. But who knows? That could all change. What are you going to go for?
Well, Steve stole my scores. So
Oh, that's nice.
Sorry.
The scenario in which you could get through would require a score of 6 or less from you, really, ideally.
I think I'm going to go for the universities, and I'm going to say Stanford.
Stanford, says Matthew. No red line for you, but let's see how many of our 100 people said Stanford. Oh. Oh. Imogen, did you know that was wrong?
No.
Because you slightly hung your head when he said it, and I was just thinking, what? Why? I'm so sorry. That turns out to be an incorrect answer. Scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 200.
Yeah, I'll go through the 8 Ivy League universities at the end, but you would have thought that
I thought
Stanford was one.
Stanford was
And
on there.
I think Champagne Supernova and Stanford is a very unlucky way to get 200 points,
Very
I have
unlucky.
to say.
Thank you, Richard. Now then, Arvind, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself.
So I'm a PhD student. I'm doing my PhD in nanotechnology at the University of Cambridge.
How are you enjoying it? What college are you at?
I'm in St. Edmund's College,
Excellent.
which is quite nice since it's postgrad only. So
There you are. And the thing everyone always says about Cambridge is that the winds come straight from the Urals. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but have the 2 months been freezing cold, or has it
I
been
think
all right?
it's been really pleasant. It's been quite dry, quite warm.
Very nice indeed. Now, Arvind, you are on nothing, which means you are through to the next round. Doesn't matter what you scored, although we know it does matter because our cheater scored nothing, and I think you'd probably quite like to score nothing too.
Yeah. I'm going to go for the chemical elements as well and say niobium.
Niobium. Niobium. OK, well, let's see. No red line, you're already through. Let's see where that ends up. Niobium. It's right. And surely. Oh, no! What? Oh, no! Oh, no, I jinxed that at the last minute. Oh, Arvind. Oh, I'm so sorry. That scores you 1. Takes your total up to 1. It's a huge
I mean,
score.
listen, Arvin's good and all that, but, you know, he's doing a PhD in nanotechnology. He still can't do as well as our cheater. I don't know, I'm just saying. Just saying, sometimes your older sister is your older sister for a reason. That's all I'm saying. He's been well looked after.
Yeah, fair enough. He's learning. Thank you, Richard. Now then, Catherine, welcome back. Lovely to have you with us once again. Tell us more about yourself.
Well, all my life I've been fairly sporty, and I've, on several occasions, been British Women's Parachute Champion, and I've represented Britain at 6 World Championships.
What do you have to do as a parachute champion?
Well, the event I do is a combined event, so there's a free-fall event where you get out and do a series of turns and loops, and they time you and give you time penalties for anything that's off-heading, and the lowest time is the winner. And the other half is an accuracy part, where you have to land on a 3-centimetre disc or 2-centimetre disc, and there's a team event with the individual scores to count.
Wow.
Wow.
What an amazing thing to do. Catherine, you've been beautifully set up by Rachel. You're through to the next round. Doesn't matter what you score. What would you like to go for?
Well, believe it or not, my first answer was niobium and my second answer was Neptunian. So they've kind of stolen my thunder. But I'm going to stick with chemical elements, and I don't think it'll go that far down, but I'm going with nitrogen.
Nitrogen, says Catherine. OK, well, let's see how many of our 100 people said nitrogen. No red line, you're through. Nitrogen is absolutely right. Down it goes to 59. Takes your total up to 66.
Very well played, safely through. Now, because these are groups of 8, I imagine some people at home will be trying to guess all 8 in these different categories, so I will score it in that way, if you don't mind, unless you have an answer.
We'll go for Columbia University.
Oh, Columbia for Ivy League would have scored you 4 points.
Okay.
Very well done.
Sorry, yeah.
So these chemical elements, nitrogen, 59, neon, 21, nickel, 17, and nobelium would have scored you 1 alongside niobium. And then we've had neptunium. There are 2 other pointless answers. Nihonium, one of the new ones, and neodymium as well. Those were the 8. Now, those Ivy League universities, we've had Harvard already. There's a Yale, Brown, Princeton and Columbia we've had, which would have scored you 7 and 4. And University of Pennsylvania would have scored you 3 and 1 point each for Dartmouth College and Cornell. Those are the 8 Ivy League universities. The teams that won the World Cup, Brazil, 49, Germany, 41, England, 37, France, 35, Argentina, 32, Italy, 32, Spain, 23, Uruguay, the best answer there, 13. And the UK #1 singles by Oasis, Don't Look Back in Anger, would have scored you 10. You'd have got 1 point for Do You Know What I Mean? Some might say, and All Around the World. And there are 4 pointless answers here. The Hindu Times, Lila, The Importance of Being Idle, and Go Let It Out.
There you go.
That's all the answers right there.
That's all of them. That's the ball. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, that brings us to the end of our first round and means we send home our extremely promising Matthew and Imogen. It's great having you on. They were well-informed wrong answers, so we'll expect great things when we see you next time. But thank you so much, Matthew and Imogen. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it is now time for round 2. And so there we are, down to 3 pairs. Very well done, everybody. We made it through that round. We didn't just make it through that round, Archita and Arvind. You were the lowest scoring pair, and Archita, you were our lowest individual score with a pointless answer. Very, very best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 this afternoon is famous people. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns famous Chrises. Always read that as crises. Famous Chrises. Richard.
Yeah, on each board we're going to show you 6 famous Chrises, but who are these Chrises? Name that Chris. 6 Chrises on the way up, 6 Chrises on the way down, 12 Chrises in all to have a go at home. Whole lot of Chrises.
A lot of Chrises, 12 Chrises. OK, here is our first board of Chrises. We've got British climber who reached the summit of Everest in 1985 and was knighted in 1996 for services to mountaineering. Actor who first played the God of Thunder in the 2011 Marvel film Thor. Ivor Novello award-winning lyricist who co-founded the band Squeeze, Manchester-born Turner Prize winner whose works include Blue Devils and the Caged Bird Song, US tennis player who won the first of her 18 Grand Slam singles titles at the French Open in 1974, and the host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, who was portrayed by Michael Sheen in the 2020 TV drama Quiz. There we are. Catherine, a lot of Chrises.
Well, my mind has gone a bit of a blank, so I'm going to go for the US tennis player, and that's Chris Evert.
Chris Evert, says Catherine. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Chris Evert. Chris Evert is right. Down, that goes to 32. Very well done.
Well done, yeah, popularised the two-handed backhand.
Two-handed backhand came from her. That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Certainly in the women's game.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Richard. Now, Archita, how do you like our Chrises?
Well, I don't like Chrises as much as I like chemical elements, unfortunately.
Ah, it's annoying.
There's a lot of people called Chris at home just going, oh, no.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of scientists going, ooh.
Scientists called Chris going, this guy could have gone worse, could have gone better.
I think I'm going to go for the actor who first played Thor, and I'm going to say Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth gets a cursory nod from Arvind. Let's see if it's right, Chris Hemsworth. How many people said it? It is Chris Hemsworth. 32 is our only score so far, and you pass it. 29 for Chris Hemsworth.
Well played, Archita. Chris Hemsworth's uncle was the real-life inspiration for a Crocodile Dundee. Famous Australian bushman, yeah. Rod Ansell, he was called.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Liz.
Hello.
You're the last person to have this board of Chrises. Can you believe it? We've exhausted it already. So will you talk us through it?
No.
Fair enough.
I do know 2 of them, the top one and the bottom one.
OK.
I think the bottom one's going to be higher, so I'm going to go for the top one, which I believe might be Chris Bonington.
Chris Bonington, says Liz. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Chris Bonington. Chris Bonington is right.
Phew.
Down we go with Chris Bonington to 15. Very strong, Liz. Great answer there. Best score of the pass.
Well played, and you were right to avoid the bottom one as well. Chris Tarrant, because he was a big old scorer, Tarrant would have scored you 70 points. Now, these other two, you all know the co-former of Squeeze.
Chris Difford.
Chris Difford, absolutely well done. Brilliant songwriter. 4 points for that. Do you know the artist?
Chrisophili.
Chrisophili, yeah. And Chrisophili would have scored you 1 point. Best answer on the board. Well done if you said that.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, we are halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 15, the best score of the past. Very well done. Liz and Steve looking good. 29 is where we find Archita and Arvind. 32 is where we find Catherine and Rachel. You're not that far ahead. Which is good news, Rachel. You can easily change everything around when we come to you in the next pass. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 6 more clues to famous Chrises up on the board, and here they come. Host of Spring Watch, Autumn Watch and Winter Watch, whose 2016 memoir was entitled Fingers in the Sparkle Jar. Kenyan-born British cyclist who won the Tour de France 4 times between 2013 and 2017. Canadian astronaut who famously performed a version of Space Oddity on the International Space Station in 2013. Stand-up comedian who voiced Marty in the Madagascar films and hosted the Oscars ceremonies in 2005 and 2016. Keyboardist who formed Pet Shop Boys with Neil Tennant in 1981. And physician and epidemiologist appointed Chief Medical Officer for England in 2019. There we go. Steve, over to you.
I'm going to have to go for the top one, Chris Packham.
Chris Packham says, Steve, OK, Chris Packham, here's your red line. Let's see if we can get close to that with Chris Packham. Chris Packham is right. Takes you down to 32, which takes your total up to 47.
Yeah, looking at that question, I cannot believe he didn't get the job on Summer Watch.
I know, unbelievable. He must be so gutted.
Must have been gutted.
Oh,
can you imagine?
There you go. Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Arvind, what are you going to go for? We're looking for a target of 17 or less.
Yeah, I'm not sure about any of these. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go for the second one and say Chris Hoy.
Chris Hoy, says Arvind. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Chris Hoy. Here is your red line. Bad luck, Arvind, I'm afraid. That's an incorrect answer. Scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 129.
Sorry, Arvind, a very famous Chris and a very famous cyclist, but not the cyclist we're looking for, sorry.
Thank you, Richard. Now then, Rachel, you were on 32. You're looking for a target of 96 or less. Do you feel like talking us through the board?
I only really know one of them that's left up there, and that would have to be the stand-up comedian that voiced Marty, and that's Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, says Rachel. Here is your red line, nice and high. Let's see if you can get below that with Chris Rock. Absolutely right, Chris Rock. That goes down to 22, takes your total up to 54.
So we fill in these Chrises.
Yes.
Cross off some more Chrises, shall we?
Yes.
Now, the cyclist, not Chris Hoy, it is Chris Froome, yeah. And he would have scored 20 points. We'll leave the astronaut for a moment. The keyboardist, you formed the Pet Shop Boys?
Chris Lowe.
Chris Lowe, yeah, well done. Would have scored you 6. The physician...
Whitty.
Chris Whitty, absolutely, and he would have scored you 37 points. No, this last one is a pointless answer. He was all over the telly and all sorts of things.
Oh, I remember him.
It's Chris Hadfield. Very well done if you said that. It's a pointless answer. Chris Hadfield.
Oh, that sounds like someone who was at school. Do you know what I mean? Chris Hadfield.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you remember Chris Hadfield? Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
year
Chris
above.
Hadfield. Yeah, what's he up to? Yeah. Not only a year above.
Yeah.
Space station above.
Light year
yeah.
above.
Yeah, light year
Eh?
above.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, we are at the end of our second round, which means we have to say goodbye to one of our pairs. Arvind and Archita, I'm so sorry. You were our star turn in the first round, and then we threw Chris at you. You'll be back, and you'll go much, much further next time. Meantime, thank you very much indeed, Arvind and Archita. Brilliant. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it is now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Stephen, Liz, Rachel and Catherine. You are now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,250. But before we play the head-to-head, shall we see if we can't find some pointless answers and boost that jackpot a little bit? OK, here goes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Hanna-Barbera cartoon characters as they could. Richard.
Yep, 6 names up on the board. 2 of them will be Hanna-Barbera characters that people have heard of. 2 will be pointless answers, and 2 will be ones that we've just made up. £250 for each pointless answer you can find.
Thank you very much indeed. So we are looking for the 2 pointless Hanna-Barbera characters in these. And we have got Willie Joe, Quick Draw McGraw, Space Ghost, Gargamel, Leafy Sea Dragon, and Hokey Wolf. What do we think? Feel free to talk aloud amongst yourselves.
The only one I've heard of is Quick Draw McGraw.
That's the only one I've heard
I
of.
don't know of any.
Second one.
A leafy sea dragon is a fish, but I don't know if it's a character.
Is it a character or something? Gargamel's the bad guy in the Smurfs, I know that.
Is that Hanna-Barbera, the Smurfs?
No, I don't think
I don't
so.
know. We've got to decide something.
Right.
What about Willie Joe?
Willie Joe. Should we go for Willie Joe?
We'll go for Willie
We'll
Joe.
go for
You're
Willie
going to go for
Joe.
Willie Joe. Let's
No
see.
idea.
Is Willie Joe a pointless Hanna-Barbera character? Oh no, bad luck. Bad luck, not Willie Joe. So, Rachel and Catherine, that's taken another one off the board.
Or Hokey Wolf. Let's try
let's try
We'll
Hokey
try Hokey Wolf. We don't
Hokey
know.
Wolf, why not? Let's try Hokey Wolf. Is Hokey Wolf a pointless Hanna-Barbera character? Well, he's right. It just has to go down to 0. We can add another 250 quid to that jackpot. Down we go. Oh, very well done indeed. Good. That's good. Richard.
Very, very well done, yeah. Willie Joe is a tricky one, because that's actually the first names of Hanna and Barbera. William, Hannah, and Joseph Barbera. So that's where we got that from. Now, Gargamel, you're quite right, is from the Smurfs, but that is a Hanna-Barbera series and would have scored a point. Quick Draw McGraw, I think you all worked out, was a character. That would have scored points as well, so you did well to avoid it. And of those last 2, Space Ghost and Leafy Sea Dragon.
Well, let's go for Space Ghost as a character, as a pointless character.
So you're accepting this thing of Leafy Sea Dragon being
I would never question anything Catherine said. I mean, Space Ghost is not one of their most famous, but I think Space Ghost, I'm going to hold on to it.
You're absolutely sure?
Absolutely sure, yeah.
As Chris Bonington would say, is that your final answer? You are absolutely right. Space Ghost was the other pointless answer. Leafy Sea Dragon, you spotted as a marine creature and is made up. So Space Ghost and Hokey Wolf. Well done if you said those.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, very well done. You managed to find a pointless answer, which means we've added £250 to the jackpot, and it now stands at £1,500. Look at that, just picking up. But who'll be playing for it? Let's find out in the head-to-head. Well, the first pair to win 2 questions, as ever, will be playing for that jackpot, and you're now allowed to confer in your pairs before you give your answers. So best of luck to both pairs. Our first question this afternoon is all about types of whale. Richard.
Yep, 5 types of whale now with alternate letters of their names as well. But what are these whales, please?
OK, so can you identify these whales? Here we go. We've got A, EUA, whale. B, EOHAE, whale. C, LE, whale. D, OHA, whale. And E, I, whale. There we are, 5 types of whale. Steve and Liz, you're our golden couple, so you get to go first.
A is beluga. C is blue. D is bowhead. What one should we go for?
I'll leave it totally up to you.
Go for D?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's hard to choose which ones because we know a few of them, but we're going to go for D, bowhead whale.
Bowhead whale, say Steve and Liz. Now, Rachel and Catherine, do you want to talk us through those other whales?
A is definitely beluga, and C is definitely blue whale.
B is something headed whale, but we can't think the first word. And the only thing I can think of for E is pig whale. We'll go for beluga.
Beluga whale
Beluga
for
whale.
A.
You're going to go
for
for beluga for A. OK, so we have bowhead versus beluga. Steve and Liz have gone for bowhead, who, ironically enough, was the drummer in Oasis. Let's see how many of our 100 people said bowhead. Oh, that's a great answer. Very well done indeed. 3 for Bowhead. Rachel and Catherine, meanwhile, have gone for beluga for A. Let's see how many of our 100 said beluga. Beluga is right. Down it goes to 47. Very well done indeed. Clear victory there for Steve and Liz. Very good. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, you can always recognise a beluga whale because they're the ones wearing the baseball cap. That's how scientists know it's them. Bowhead is a very good answer, very impressive. Shall we have a look at the rest of these now?
Yeah.
Let's start with C. It's the biggest animal, biggest creature ever.
And just to give you an idea how big it is, it's carrying a little mobile phone there. You can see
Exactly. For scale. And, and by the way, this photo was taken in 1983 when mobile phones were even bigger than they are now. So, I mean, it's really, really big. They can be 100-foot long, mobile phones from the early 80s. Blue whale would have scored you 67 points. Now, these other two, let's start with E. It does look like pig whale, doesn't it? It's the sort of thing, they call whales after other animals, don't they? It's not a pig whale. This is the second largest type of whale.
Fin.
Fin.
Fin whale? Let's take a look. It is fin whale. Well done. Would have scored 14
now
points.
You say that.
And this last one, it is a something-headed whale.
Oh, I mean, once you've started thinking lemonhead, lemon-headed, it can't be.
It's not a million miles away from lemon-headed.
Melon?
It is melon-headed whale.
Oh, right.
Melon-headed whale. And that's a pointless answer. Very well done if you did that. I've never heard of a melon-headed whale before.
No.
Do you know they say that bowhead whales can live up to 200 years old? Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
The things they've seen.
Oh.
Do you think whales know they're whales?
I wonder. It's just so nice if we should get a bow-headed whale on the show, and because they'll almost certainly never say, "Oh, before my time."
Exactly. Or if it is, it'll be like, "Whoa,
whoa,
this is
so far."
Amazing, yeah.
There you go. Thank you very much indeed. OK, so now here comes your second question. Rachel and Catherine, you have to win this one to stay in the game, so good luck. Our second question is all about Mallorca. So nearly said Majorca there,
Yeah,
but,
nice.
you know, both work.
Yeah, 5 clues now to facts about Mallorca.
Let's reveal our 5 clues. Here they come. We've got Spanish architect noted for his work in Barcelona commissioned to renovate the interior of Palma Cathedral in the 1900s. Mountain range awarded UNESCO World Heritage status in 2011. Island group Mallorca is part of, in common with Menorca and Ibiza. Polish-born composer and pianist who lived on the island with the writer George Sand in the 1830s, and the 2016 TV drama starring Tom Hiddleston and Hugh Laurie, which was partly filmed on the island. There we are. Rachel and Catherine will go first.
Top one is definitely Gaudi, and then the third one is the Balearic Islands, but I don't know the others.
The bottom one is the night manager. Definitely.
Remember that one? Or Gaudi.
We're going to go for the Spanish architects and go for Gaudi.
Gaudi, say Rachel and Catherine for the architect. Now, Steve and Liz, do you feel like talking us through that board?
Almost.
No, we only know a couple. We think the island group is the Balearics, and we think the TV drama is the night manager. What should we go for?
Night manager.
The night manager.
You're going to go for the night manager. So we have Gaudi and we have the night manager. Rachel and Catherine went for Gaudi, the architect. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Gaudi. Gaudi is right. It's a good answer. Down it goes. Well done. 23 for Gaudi. Meanwhile, Steve and Liz have gone for the night manager, the Tom Hiddleston, Hugh Laurie drama filmed on Mallorca. How many of our 100 said that? The night manager is right. 23 is what it has to beat. Oh, it's done it. Look at that. Down it goes to 16. Very well done indeed. That means Steve and Liz, after only 2 questions, you're through to the final 2-0.
Yeah, Gaudi scores more than you think, doesn't he? That's well done to our 100, I have to say.
Clever.
It's kind of nice. So Steve and Liz, it's their 3rd show.
That's nice.
And Catherine and Rachel are coming back
They'll
as well.
be
So
back,
in some ways, it's kind of okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know it'd be nicer to get through to the... but, you know.
We'll boost the jackpot up for you.
Yes, exactly. That'd be a lovely thing to... That'd be a very classy thing to do, to now throw the final. Yeah, that'd be lovely. Let's fill in the rest of these, shall we? The island group, you're quite right. It was the biggest scorer of all. The Balearics would have scored you 51. Now, listen, you do the classic event breakfast show. If someone tells you there's a Polish-born composer and pianist, you know who it is.
Frédéric Chopin.
Frédéric Chopin, absolutely. Would have scored you 4 points. And the mountain range?
I don't know.
It's one of those, I'm sure I've heard of it on, like, Escape to the Sun or something, you know, or A Place in the Sun, one of those shows.
Yeah.
It's the Serra de Tramontana. Serra de Tramontana is a pointless answer. Very well done. If you said that.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, Rachel and Catherine, well, we will see you again next time. And that will be it. That will be your third and final, I think. Yes. So I hope we'll see you back in the head-to-head then and maybe taking it one step further. Anyway, meanwhile, thank you very much, Rachel and Catherine, for playing so well. But for Steve and Liz, it is now time for the Pointless Fun. Congratulations, Steve and Liz. You've seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our Pointless Jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £1,500. Well, 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 we've seen plenty of interesting things happen across the 3 shows you've been on. We've had quite a few pointless answers as well. We just need one from you now, and it will win that jackpot for you. What would you like to see come up?
For me, geography, children's stories, children's books and authors would be really good.
For me, Elvis Presley, Laurel and Hardy.
So, I mean, anything. I mean, interesting little things anyway. And we'll see. That's the kind of stuff that wins this round usually anyway. Let's find out what our 4 categories are today. We've got tap dancing musicals in the West End, 2020 Grand Slam tennis, lilies on film, rare breeds of poultry.
I think we can't do the tennis. No. We can't do lilies on film. I can only think one or two lilies. Rare breeds of poultry. No idea.
We're going to have to go
tap dancing musicals in the West End.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to go
for that. Yeah. Tap dancing musicals in the West End. I can think of one.
We're looking for any song from the original cast recordings of any of these 3 musicals, please. So any song from Top Hat, any song from 42nd Street, or any song from Singin' in the Rain, please. So any song from the original cast recordings of any of those 3 musicals. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of your answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yes.
Good. Let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Right. Well, 42nd Street.
Shuffle Off to Buffalo.
Shuffle Off to Buffalo. That's one on the train, isn't it? Yeah. What about the one where they're doing the money one? Is it Money? Is it called Money?
In the Money.
In the Money.
In the Money. In the Money.
And what about? Come on, you were in it.
I know.
You've done it.
Isn't it awful when you're yeah. So well, where did she come from? Little Rock. Is it called Little Rock?
I don't know. Would we go for that? Is that in it?
Yeah, it might be.
It might be.
Yeah.
Think of another one. There's 42nd Street, but that's too obvious.
So, Singing in the Rain.
I can't think of any in Singing in the Rain other than Singing in the Rain.
No. So
we'll go
Shuffle Off the Buffalo. In the Money.
And
10 seconds left.
Little Rock.
That's it.
I think so.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I can't think of another
really
one.
Strange.
OK, that is your time up. So let's have your 3 answers. What can you give me?
So we'll have Little Rock, 42nd Street. I don't think it's right. Shuffle Off to Buffalo.
Shuffle Off to Buffalo.
In the Money. All from 42nd Street.
All from 42nd Street. Which of those is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Shuffle Off to Buffalo.
Shuffle Off to Buffalo we put last. Least likely to be pointless?
Little Rock.
Little Rock, and then In the Money goes in the middle. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board, and here they are. We have got Little Rock, In the Money, and Shuffle Off to Buffalo. There we are, all 3 from 42nd Street. You were chatting there. It sounded like you've been in 42nd Street. Steve.
Yeah, that's how Liz and I met. In fact, Liz wasn't actually in 42nd Street. She was the membership secretary. And it happened to be Valentine's Day. And I'm only in the chorus, and I'm at the back of the stage with some of the other girls. And they said, "Did you get any Valentine's cards today, Steve?" And I said, "Yes," but I didn't know who it was from. And they all knew.
As
said
is
it was Liz.
traditional. Oh,
Yeah, and they said, you'll
wow.
find out at the after-show party.
Oh, what happened at the after show? Well, we haven't got time to go into that now.
What happens on 42nd Street stays on 42nd Street.
Yeah, absolutely right. OK, well, wouldn't it be lovely, therefore,
It would, but I'm not...
one of these answers was pointless and won that jackpot for you? What would you like to do with £1,500?
Well, Steve, having been in the Navy, has travelled everywhere in the world, and I have travelled relatively little, compared to him anyway. So I'd love to spend it on travelling, perhaps to India or the Caribbean, places I'd love to go but have never been yet.
I mean, you should probably go on a cruise, shouldn't you? Or is that a bit of a busman's holiday for you?
He gets seasick.
Oh, really? That's hilarious.
Cruise is no good.
OK, well, listen, very, very best of luck. It'd just be brilliantly poetic if one of these won that jackpot for you. Little Rock is your first answer. We're looking for 42nd Street, songs from 42nd Street for all three of these. If Little Rock is pointless, £1,500 is yours. How many people said Little Rock? Not Little Rock, as you suspected. An incorrect answer. So let's turn to In the Money. We're on much firmer ground here. 42nd Street songs. How many of our 100 people said In the Money? Well, it's right. We knew it would be right, but we just have to see how far down it goes, because if it goes all the way to 0, you leave here with £1,500. In the Money takes us down all to 2. Look at that. Oh, nearly in the money. Let's turn to your third and final answer. Shuffle Off to Buffalo. Now, if In the Money only scored 2, Shuffle Off to Buffalo could be in with a shout, couldn't it? I mean, it could be. For £1,500, is it pointless, Shuffle Off to Buffalo? It's right. It's right. Oh, this would be fantastic. This would get you off on a lovely holiday. Down we go to single figures. They shuffle off to Buffalo. They're still going down, still going down. You've done it! Very well done indeed. Oh, that's perfect. Wow. That couldn't be more perfect. The musical you were working on when you met. Shuffle Off to Buffalo is a pointless answer. Wow. You have won today's jackpot of £1,500.
How lovely. What a beautiful thing to come up and then to have got a pointless answer as well. It could have gone either way, so very, very well done. What a lovely story. We'll start with Top Hat. All of these were pointless answers. Better luck next time. I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. Let's Face the Music and Dance is a pointless answer. Outside of that, I Love You was a pointless answer. Now, these 4 pointless answers here for 42nd Street, all of which I think we can show parts of your relationship. I Only Have Eyes for You, Keep Young and Beautiful, Sunny Side to Every Situation, and You're Getting to Be a Habit with Me. How absolutely wonderful. Congratulations to you both there. And we'll move on now to Singing in the Rain. Fit as a Fiddle, Moses Supposes, You Are My Lucky Star, and You Were Meant for Me, which is a lovely place to leave this episode. Congratulations.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. And thanks once again to our winning players, Steve and Liz, who take away today's jackpot of £1,500.
Thank you.
Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.